Here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Come up. Grover Dye supported me when I ran for school board. Do you remember that? How many years ago this was? First of all, I want to thank you for letting me come and do a quick thing, and I'm having my own party, and I know she was really upset, and I said, look, they don't even tell me. It's just like shows up on my BlackBerry these days we're having a party, and we're having sort of a come as you want sort of potluck Chinese banquet. I've never seen it done before, but if they show up, they put together tables of 10, and so that's at 12th and 12th. So if you're still hungry later, you can join us at King of Kings. Let me first of all just thank everyone here. People have been fighting here for justice, and one of my favorite phrases as I've been visiting churches and community groups throughout Oakland is that we have to remember what Martin Luther King said about that there is no real peace without justice. Did you guys notice the New York Times study that came out about a couple of weeks ago? And I'm going to have breakfast with Barbara Lee tomorrow, and I'm going to remind her that on the day the Iraq War started, we were at the Federal Building, and I said, you know, I bet you more children will die on the streets of Oakland, from Oakland, because of the war than will die in Iraq. First of all, most of our kids know to stay out the military if they can. But secondly, that the cuts that the Bush administration at that time made, or were about to, the way they funded it, was the so-called off-budget. That is, they just printed the money and someone was going to pay it later, and the people who are going to pay that are people who are looking for Social Security, our kids who need schools and federal aid to education, immigrant families who need health care and they're going to be cut out of the First Five plan here in California. And the study came out and said that because of the impact on social services, that the war of Iraq, that more people are affected here at home that were affected as soldiers. And so we are going into a very, very tough time as a city. And so I was happy to be a little part of the good news this week, and I would not have done it without some of the people in this room, and quite a few of my campaign workers are from this room who've been walking with me for over a year. I see the victory not as my personal victory, but as a victory for grassroots organizing in the city. I see it as a victory of people who are willing to organize door to door and stand up against the political machine. We were probably outspent, if I haven't found all of Don's hidden IEs yet. But you know, we're up to about 7 to 1. And I will bet you by the time we're done, we will find that we were outspent 10 to 1. And he almost won. Rachel Richard, where's Rachel? Rachel and I were talking over here. And Rachel, you know how we predicted, we said it would be won by a few votes per precinct. It came down to about 5 votes per precinct. 5 votes per precinct. So if any of you talk that Prada supported to put me #1 in Flippus, or if you talk that Rebecca Kaplan supported to put me #2, 5 votes per precinct. And so that is, how much does it cost to buy the city? Well, probably 10 times, about $5 million in the mayor's race. But since he didn't quite get to that amount, we were still able to overcome that because despite what Don says about Oaklanders being confused, I don't think they're confused. I think Oaklanders are pretty smart. I think Oaklanders are really smart, that they wanted something different. And now we're going to have to reunite the city because people are on different sides, and we're going to have to reunite the city behind our kids, behind ending the kind of violence that Pueblo has been organized around. And I know Rashida will not let me have any peace until when I come out in the new budget, I civilianize the CPRB. But the least, the one thing you do know is that he was going to fund the police department by cutting out the CRP and the Public Ethics Commission and our neighborhood service coordinators, and that's not going to happen. Right? And I'm looking forward to talking to Judge Henderson, and if I can convince Judge Henderson to let us civilianize internal affairs and get more cops on the streets, and we bring more civilians inside, but it's still going to be very tough. It's going to be a tough budget year. So you're not always going to be happy, but I'm always going to work with you. My door is always going to be open. So I want to thank you all very, very much for being part of the Oakland we love. And I want to let you know that on January 3rd, we've only got 2 parties planned after tonight. I'm going to rent the entire Chabot Science Center. I'm inviting the whole town to come to Chabot Space and Science Center on the eve of inauguration. That's Sunday, January 2nd. Right, it will be free. You can see our new global climate exhibit that opens next Saturday. And we're going to keep Oakland a green city, right? And then the next day on inauguration, I'm planning to walk from the H Street Family Association, where my great-grandfather came 105 years ago after the San Francisco earthquake and took refuge, past the Hotel Leamington, where my father was a union cook. And we're trying to figure a few more little other stops, and then we're going to end up at the Paramount. So if you all want to join us, it will be, I don't think Annalee's here yet. It's going to be a tribute to my family's ancestors and to the working people who built the city. So thank you very much.